In the future, after nearly destroying Earth's natural balance, humanity finally woke up. They built a stunning new world powered entirely by renewable energy. But it wasn't the leaders who saved the planet, it was a rebellious group known as the Roost. They planted radiant flowers that cooled the earth, their surface and sparked nature as healing like magic. To end all the fighting and unfairness, society created a rule. On your 16th birthday, you go through a transformation to become pretty. Not just on the outside, but inside too. Those who complete the process move to a glamorous zone and are called pretties, while the ones still waiting are stuck as uglies, kept far from the perfect world. Tally, still an ugly, stares into the mirror and begs it to show her future pretty self. But curiosity takes over. She sneaks out to meet her best friend Paris, who's just one day away from his transformation. With special tech goggles, they spy on the glittering world of the pretties, and Tally's eyes sparkle with wonder as she watches them live in total joy. Tally turns to Paris and asks how he feels, knowing that tomorrow is the day he'll be transformed forever. Paris admits he feels emotional, sentimental even, and gently tells her she'll understand when her time comes in 3 months. She holds up her hand to remind him of the matching scar they both have, a symbol of their unbreakable bond. Paris smiles and promises, "I'll never erase it." Suddenly, a patrol jet whooshes overhead. They both jump to their feet, panic rushing through them, and hurry back to their rooms before they're spotted. Just before they part ways, Paris makes her promise no trouble, and that she meet him at the bridge in exactly 1 month. The next morning, a big farewell gathers all the Uglies as those turning 16 step forward for their transformation. Dr. Cable, an almost unreal-looking woman with an icy stare, appears on stage. Her chilling speech is followed by the names of the new pretties being called. Tally hugs Paris tightly, holding back tears, and watches him vanish into the unknown world of perfection. As Tally sits down, Shay, a spunky, short-haired ugly, leans in and asks, "Is he your boyfriend?" Tally looks confused and quickly replies, "He's just my best friend." Days crawled by painfully slow. With Paris gone, her life feels empty and dull. She sends him message after message, but nothing. Silence. A full month goes by with no reply. Still holding on to hope, she sends one last message, reminding him of their promised meeting at the bridge that night. And again, no response. As night falls, Tally slips silently out of her dorm, her heart racing. She dashes through shadows toward the bridge, careful not to be spotted by the guards. She waits anxiously at their special meeting spot, but Paris isn't there. Not a trace of him. She calls out his name over and over, her voice echoing into the night. But there's nothing. He's gone. Desperate, Tally makes a bold move. She climbs the city's fence and enters the forbidden pretty zone. As she sneaks through the sparkling streets, her eyes land on a mysterious mask lying on the ground. Thinking it'll help her blend in, she slips it on. But the moment it touches her skin, a strange current rushes through her body. She's turning pretty. Shocked but overwhelmed with curiosity, Tally walks deeper into the city. Strangers pass her with smiles, calling her pretty without hesitation. The whole place feels like a dream. Music, lights, laughter everywhere. Then, through the crowd, she finally spots Paris at a lively party. He stares at her in disbelief. She runs up to him and asks why he never came to the bridge. But Paris, cold and distant, replies, "Things are different now." That's when she sees that his scar is gone. Furious, she asks about his promise. He confesses without guilt he erased the scar the moment he became pretty. Just then, the jet scan Tally's face and blast out an alert. She's an uninvited guest. Panic explodes in her chest. Heartbroken and terrified, she spins around and runs with everything she's got. She bolts through the city, slipping past guards and chaos, until she finally escapes and crawls under a bridge to hide. Loose stones tumble down, giving away her hiding spot. The jets start closing in. She's sure this is the end. But out of nowhere, Shay comes soaring in on a flying hoverboard. "Jump on," she yells. Without thinking, Tally leaps onto the board, and the two vanish into the night sky. Later, they stop in a wide open field, catching their breath. Tally, still buzzing with adrenaline, proudly tells Shay about her insane jump over the mansion. Shay's eyes widen. She's impressed. Then Tally gets a mischievous grin and casually suggests sneaking into the kitchen. Shay warns her it's locked, but Tally just shrugs. Rules don't scare her now. They hack the security cameras and spend the night stirring up harmless chaos. From that moment on, Tally and Shay grow close to partners in crime. Shay even teaches Tally how to ride the hoverboards like a pro. The next morning, on their way to class, Shay greets a group of students who hand back a book and gush over how good it is. Intrigued, Tally takes a peek. But suddenly, one student turns to her and asks, "Are you the one who jumped the city wall?" The question hits her like a jolt. Later, Tally confronts Shay in frustration. "Why are you spreading that story?" she asks. But Shay brushes it off, saying there's nothing to hide. Still, Tally can't shake the fear. What if the gossip ruins her shot at becoming pretty? One night, as they lie under the stars talking about the future, Shay suddenly laughs and says, "I don't even want to go through the process." Tali sits up stunned. How could she joke about something so serious? But Shay just smiles and says, "Next time, I want to take you somewhere." The next day, Shay and Tali set out toward the woods, but something feels different. As they walk, Shay suddenly veers off the path, heading deeper into the forest. Tali's eyes widen in alarm. "We'll get caught. This place is off limits," she warns. But Shay doesn't stop. Instead, she calmly slips off her ring and hangs it on a tree branch. "This will make them think we're just out on a picnic," she explains with a smirk. Without asking, she removes Tali's ring too and hooks it on the same branch. They hike farther into the dense woods. Then, Tali suddenly freezes as she recognizes this place. It's straight out of history. The ruins where the Rusties once lived. Everything from that old book she read comes rushing back. Her heartbeat quickens as the pieces start to connect. Shay turns serious. "You have to keep all of this a secret," she whispers. "Don't tell anyone how to get here, or how to contact someone." Tali, baffled, asks, "Who are you even talking about?" But Shay doesn't explain. Instead, she kneels, gathers dry twigs, and strikes them together until a small fire flickers to life. Tali stares in confusion. "Who are you calling?" she asks. With a calm smile, Shay replies, "David." Tali's jaw drops. David, that name belongs to a legend, a total myth. But Shay insists he's real, and so is the smoke, a whole different way of life beyond the pretty's world. She pleads with Tali to come see it with her, but Tali pulls back. Her voice is firm. "I don't care about that, I just want to become pretty." Shay tries one last time to open Tali's eyes. "Being yourself isn't the same as being ugly," she says softly. "That's just what they made us believe." She talks about the smoke, a hidden place where kids live wild and free, choosing to be who they really are. But Tali shakes her head, unmoved. Her voice is cold. "I don't care about freedom, I just want to be pretty." Shay's face falls. She sighs, finally giving up. Then, through the trees, they spot someone approaching. It's David. But before Shay leaves with him, she pulls a small note from her pocket and hands it to Tali. "If you ever change your mind," she says, "the path to the smoke is written in here. But it's in a code only you'll understand." Without another word, Shay disappears into the forest. Tali returns to his own, heart torn in 1,000 directions. The next day, everyone gathers in the Great Hall, everyone except Shay. It's the long-awaited moment. The 16-year-olds, one by one, are being called to undergo the transformation. Finally, they call Tali's name. She takes a deep breath, steps onto the stage, and walks into the glowing science lab. But then, silence. Others go in, one after another, but not Tali. She's left waiting, and something feels very wrong. Suddenly, someone appears, calling for Tali, and she's taken away without explanation. Her heart pounds with dread. Have all her rebellious stunts, jumping city walls and sneaking into forbidden zones, ruined her chance to become pretty. She's led into a sleek, cold room where Dr. Cable, the icy leader of the transformation process, waits for her. With piercing eyes, Cable gets straight to the point. "Do you know where Shay is?" Tali's breath catches. Shay has vanished, and according to Cable, she's in serious danger. Cable claims that Shay is under the control of David, a dangerous outsider who brainwashes young minds to rebel against the city's order. Tali is stunned into silence. She says nothing. With a chilling look, Cable dismisses her. No signals. She holds her breath, silently praying it won't detect the necklace hidden around her neck. Luckily, it doesn't relieve. David says she's clean and leads her deeper into the forest. Soon, they arrive at the smoke, a hidden settlement buzzing with life. There, Tali spots Shay, who runs up and hugs her, tight pure relief on her face. But not everyone is so welcoming. Croy, another member of the smoke, eyes Tali suspiciously. How'd she make it here alone? He asks, clearly doubting her story. But David steps in firmly. She saved Shay's life. That's enough for me. Later that night, Shay catches a glimpse of the necklace around Tali's neck. Her eyes narrow. "What's that?" she asks. Tali waves it off, saying it's just something Paris gave her during his visit. But when Tali gently asks if Shay is truly happy here, Shay goes quiet. Then, with a knowing look, she says, "You didn't come here for freedom. You came to take me back." She steps closer and warns, "You need to decide, stay here or leave." The very next day, Tali joins Shay and David on a helicopter ride to a blazing mission burning the flowers. As smoke curls through the air, Tali finally learns the shocking truth. These seemingly beautiful flowers are actually dangerous. They spread like wildfire, choking out other life and forcing the city to rely on technology to survive. But just as they torch the field, something catches their eye, two of Cable's men lurking nearby. Suddenly, disaster strikes. Shay slips and tumbles into the burning flowers. David yells for Tali to stay back, but she doesn't hesitate, not for a second. She dives into the fire, dodging flames to pull Shay out, not only from the blaze, but from Cable's scouts closing in. Back at camp, tension explodes. Croy storms up, furious. "We've never been tracked before. Until now." He snaps, eyes locked on Tali. The others shift uncomfortably. Suspicion hangs thick in the air, but once again, David stands by her. She saved Shay's life. He reminds them firmly. She's one of us now. Later, the group heads back to the smoke base, and things finally start to feel a little more like home. Tally begins to bond with the others, especially David. At one point, he quietly hands her a pair of gloves. She's surprised, until Shay spots them the next morning and leans in close. Everything in the smoke means something, she says. Those gloves. They mean David likes you. Tally blushes and looks away, unsure of what to say. Shay gives her a knowing smile. You'd better figure it out soon, she warns, and walks off, eager to ease her confusion. David invites Tally to meet his parents. The real smoke, he calls them. When they arrive, Tally is stunned. Families, elders, people who look alike. She's never seen anything like it. David turns to his parents with a serious look. Tell her the truth, he says. At first, they exchange nervous glances, hesitating, but then, slowly, they begin to speak. They reveal that they once lived in a city just Tally underwere the same age as Dr. Cable when the transformation process first began. Like everyone else, they believed the surgery was about making people peaceful and beautiful. But as time passed, they uncovered a terrifying secret. They started digging into the truth, and what they found was horrifying. The surgery wasn't really about beauty at all. It was about control. It didn't just change your face, it changed your mind. Hidden in the procedure was a chemical compound that rewired the brain. It silenced independent thought, boosted blind obedience, and made people feel a fake kind of happiness. They smiled, but their minds were numb. Worst of all, in some cases, it even caused permanent brain damage or death. Just when they were close to exposing everything, Cable found out. She shut down their research and chased them out. They had no choice but to flee the city and disappear. That's when they built the Smoke, a secret place where they could continue their mission safely, far from the city's grip. And ever since, they've been working on one thing: a cure, a way to undo the damage and bring people's real minds back. Tally's eyes widen in horror. Have you actually found a cure? She whispers. David's mother nods slowly. We have, but it's not finished yet. They explain that it still requires one rare ingredient, a chemical only found in the city. And worst of all, it can only be tested on someone who's already had the surgery. They need a volunteer. Tally doesn't even blink. She rips off the necklace Cable gave her and hurls it straight into the fire. Sparks rise into the air as she makes her choice. Truth and freedom over the fake, polished life she used to want so badly. Return to your dorm. Speak when you're ready. Back in her room, whispers swirl like smoke. People say Tally may have lost her shot at the surgery. Forever, the thought crushes her. What if she really missed her only chance? That night, Paris sneaks into her room. His visit is a shock. He pleads with her to help Shay, saying Cable convinced him that Shay's life is at risk. If she's truly in danger, helping her isn't breaking a promise, he insists. By morning, Tally makes her decision. She agrees to help Cable, but Cable drops a bomb. She claims that David and the Smoke are secretly building a weapon powerful enough to destroy the city. She hands Tally a sleek, silver necklace. When you find Shay, she says, press this. Using Shay's secret-coded message, Tally weaves her way through the dense forest. Finally, she reaches a glowing white field bursting with beautiful flowers. This is it, the spot where Shay told her to wait for David. Her legs give out from exhaustion, and she collapses into sleep among the blossoms. But peace doesn't last. She jolts awake. Coughing fire is everywhere. Flames lick the flowers around her, choking the air. In a panic, she scrambles to escape, when suddenly, a mysterious figure bursts through the smoke and pulls her to safety. He's calm, strong, and strikingly handsome. I'm David, he says. Immediately, David checks her for trackers. His scanner David stares at her, stunned. Then, a smile spreads across his face. You're beautiful, he tells her. Not because of how you look, but because of how you think and the strength inside you. Then he leans down and gently kisses her. But just then, a terrible mistake. The heat from the flames activates the necklace. A hidden signal shoots out, directly to Cable. The Smoke's location is exposed. At dawn, the sky roars as jets scream overhead. Chaos erupts as Cable's soldiers descend like shadows, enhanced with terrifying new procedures. They storm the Smoke and capture everyone in sight. From the trees, Tally and David watch helplessly. Then, something unthinkable happens. David's eyes go wide as he sees Paris's old friend kill David's father right in front of him. A scream bursts from David's throat as he rushes to his father's side. Sobbing, Tally follows, her heart pounding. But they're too late. Cable steps into the wreckage with a smug smile. Thank you, Tally, she says loudly. You've done exactly what I hoped. She announces to everyone that Tally was a spy the whole time. Gasps fill the air. The others stare at her, betrayed. Before they're dragged away, David's mother presses something into his hand, a tiny glass vial, glowing faintly. The missing piece of the cure. Amid the smoke and screaming, Tally makes her move. She sets one of the buildings ablaze, creating the perfect distraction to escape. Flames roar behind her as she runs to find David. He's already gathering supplies, preparing to flee. But when he sees her, his expression hardens. Stay away. he says coldly. I can't trust you anymore. Tally's voice shakes. Please, she pleads. I know the city eye can help save Shay. For a long moment, he says nothing. But finally, with pain still in his eyes, David nods. Silently, they run together back to the city. Thanks to help from underground rebels who believe in their cause, they manage to break into the lab. Inside, they fight past locked doors and security to free the captives. But one name is missing: Shay. She's still locked away in the most secure part of the facility. They rush deeper into the lab, and when they find her, their hearts sink. Shay stands in the room, stunning and flawless, but her voice is cold, robotic, her eyes are empty. I'm happy now, she says with a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. She doesn't want to leave. She's not Shay anymore. Suddenly, Cable and Paris appear and trap Tally and David in a glass cage. All hope seems lost until Croy bursts in and smashes the control system, freeing everyone. David's mother, racing against time, uses the final chemical to complete the cure. Together, the group escapes the lab and races up to the rooftop, but Paris is waiting. Consumed by grief and rage, David lunges at him, fists fly. Tally joins in, the pain of betrayal fueling her strength. In a final push, they send Paris over the edge. He falls. They regroup at the ruins of the smoke, tired, shaken, but not broken. There, David's mother prepares the cure, ready to test it on Shay. But Shay steps back, her face calm and cold. I love who I am now, she says. I don't want to change. The surgery is taken over completely. Her real self is gone. Silence falls. Then Tally steps forward. With fierce determination in her eyes, she volunteers to be the first. Test it on me, she says. I believe my mind is strong enough to fight the effects. She turns to David and whispers, if it works, I'll find a way to send you a sign. Suddenly, the sky rumbles. Cables, jets are back. Everyone scrambles for safety, but Tally stays behind. She stands tall and yells, I want to be pretty. Her voice echoes, and the jets descend to take her away. Time passes. Tally has the surgery. Now, she's stunning, every feature flawless, just like all the other pretties. But something is different. She stares at her reflection. Then slowly, her eyes drift down to her hand. The scar, the same scar she made long ago with Paris. And in that moment, she smiles, just barely. A flicker of memory, a spark of rebellion. She remembers who she is. The end.